Hey, Adriano here. When we are thinking about healing, when we want to heal, we have a desire to heal, then we need to do two things. We need to acknowledge and start to release the judgments that we're holding on to. So, the judgments that are holding ideas locked in place that are not serving us. In fact, they're holding us back from resolving, they're holding us back from enjoying, they're just holding us back. What are some common judgments? I'm not creative. I can never heal. What's done is done, and I can't recover. These are all examples of definitive statements, stating as if that's matter of fact, that's truth, that's written in concrete. But then again, even concrete can be busted up and changed. So we don't actually look at them as they are, as a very definitive statement, kind of telling ourselves that this is what needs to stay put. Instead, if we recognize judgments, we can release judgments. We can, uh, use the judgment release process. Then we can release these judgments to find out the new, more accurate, perhaps even more loving understandings about the situation. For example, I'm not creative. Well, of course you're creative. You're constantly creating, and you're creating with your thoughts. You're creating with your choices. You're creating when you contribute an idea at work or to your family or anything else. You're constantly co creating this existence. So that's more accurate. You may feel that, oh, I don't have the skill set like somebody else, or I haven't practiced this technique, therefore I feel a little bit timid or anxious to try. That's more accurate than the judgment, like a definitive statement of I'm not creative. So when we find more accuracy, and the efficient way is to release judgments, forgive ourselves for those judgments, then we can find more empowerment, but more possibility. Do I want to do this creative activity or not? Now it's choice as opposed to blocking myself. And this is all over the place, from relationships, hurt in the relationships, wedges, and our judgments, even with our partner, business partner, romantic partner, with our children, with our parents, with the world, with God, all sorts of judgments that are acting as a wedge, as a block. So as we release those, then we'll find more opportunities to heal, more enjoyment, more solutions, more understandings. Secondly, related to judgments is also that we need to heal the emotions that we haven't really regarded or that we've suppressed. For example, hurt in a past relationship, right? Yes, there's the connotation that we don't want to admit that we have hurt, because then we just want to feel like everything's fine, it didn't phase me. But that is actually it's not really based in a very, let's call it, healthy approach. And that hurt, or it could be grief, it could be guilt, it could be suppressed anger, etc. When we shove it down and suppress it, then it starts to fester, right? I often use the analogy of when we try to deny or deflect or distract from things, it's kind of like sweeping the food that's in the kitchen on the floor, putting it underneath the rug. Instead of sweeping it up, cleaning the floor, we sweep all the salad and the dressings and sauces and the crumbs and chicken and whatever else might be there underneath the carpet. Now it seems like it disappears. We can go, oh yeah, look at there's no problem now. But then what happens the next day, next week? It festers. And so quite often we can find that there's problems that arise mentally, maybe in terms of anxiety, distress, etc., emotionally as well, even potentially physically, when we suppress these emotions and we don't resolve them. We don't give them a chance to vent, to resolve, to heal. So one of the easy ways is to, or one of the direct ways is to go back, I guess, into some of the memories, some of the difficult areas that we already kind of remember are triggering to us. And as we do this, then we can find a little bit more compassion and love for ourselves. Even if we try to neglect it, or, for example, fears, we don't address them, we push them down, pretend they're not there. Maybe it was as a survival mechanism, or you're in public and you didn't want to feel embarrassed. It was some sort of tendency or unconscious default. It's no problem. Now we want to go back into whatever might be there in our system. For example, hurt from past relationships is a big one. And to give it a little bit more of the love that we're now in a better state than we were back then, and we have more context, more experience, more compassion for ourselves, more desire to feel good and to heal. So now we're in a better state. we can bring a little bit of loving intention to kind of like readdress that, kind of give it a little bit of the light of day and allow it to vent, allow it to process outwards. So these are two main things that we'll have to do when we're looking to heal. There's different approaches. I make different approaches. There's other approaches in the world and that you can access. Even genuinely desiring that you want to heal, genuinely desiring that you want to feel good, you want to feel more love, you want to have more loving acceptance for the aspects of yourself, right? A lot of us don't have enough acceptance or don't have a lot of acceptance for the creative or the intuitive side, whether you call it unconscious or the intuitive or the left brain, right brain, apparent polarities. So we can bring more acceptance to those parts of ourselves to have more balance, but also access more capacity, more of our potential, more of our breadth, our presence, and see what that actually might be. Maybe in some cases we've never experienced what we actually can be. So there's a lot, and it's quite a fun journey and quite a fun topic to talk about healing. But there are several things that we need to do. First and foremost, from the mental component, judgments, right? Starting to release those blocks, finding out what is really true and true for us in each moment. The emotional component, finding where we're plugged up with our emotions from the past. Maybe they're even blocking our ability to feel good in this moment, or to feel good in a relationship that should otherwise feel good. Therefore, resolving some of those past things, even though we've been told, just forget about them, going to resolve some of them and clearing up that emotional component allows us to clear the space and open it to feeling good, to love, to new enjoyments and gratitude and appreciations of what we have now. So there's those components. There's also a few additional components. For example, we may have some unloving agreements, or we may have guilt, and we don't think guilt is an emotion, etc. So there's different things. There's different peaks and valleys and forests and lakes and all these different terrain when it comes to healing. But overall, it's very, very quite simple. Have the main desire or intention, or be clear on what the main intention is that you have. Doesn't need to be like anyone else, doesn't need to be something that somebody else finds attractive or cool or the quote-unquote right way to heal, etc. Your way is your own, my way is my own, the next person's is their own as well, even though there may be a lot of commonalities and some universality to it. But the fundamental thing is your desire. And with your desire, your intention, at least desiring to feel good, to feel better, to heal. Maybe there's a desire to improve a relationship, or to improve your relationship with yourself, or with your creator, with God, with Mother Nature, and more. And a lot of other things can not unravel, but you can uncover them along the way. So pick something that you can engage with, something that feels decent enough to engage with. If that's judgment release process, that's a very simple one that you can do even a couple minutes a day and can produce some pretty big benefits. There is many alternatives. There's my approach that I like is abstract art therapy. You create a lot of beautiful things, and we want to open up to the other parts of ourselves to find the balance point, the healing points. And there are some other ones, but pick something so that you can at least get some experience, get some traction with you experiencing you and uncovering a little bit of what needs to be uncovered and what needs to heal. All right, there's many options. Enjoy, and you can pick all different ones, and you can enjoy different things. And it's really a beautiful, beautiful experience. So congratulations to you on the idea and the process and the allowance of recognizing that you want to heal, that you want something more, that we want to experience a better life, better reality, and even better cumulative reality of life and of existence that we share. All right, take care.